Okay, I think I'm ready for my first dungeon as a healer. I hope I don't let my party down. I'm not the greatest healer, but I'll do my best. Well, here goes. I'll key the dungeon up. It would be nice to get a good and kind-hearted group that'll be patient with me. I hope the tank is brave and strong, and I hope the DPS are... Oh, it popped. Healer queues sure are fast. What if I mess up? Oh god. Okay, deep breaths. You got this. Hi guys, let's do our best to get through this dungeon together. Not too chatty, huh? Oh, that's fine, I think. Alright, the tank is pulling. Oh gosh, that's a lot of enemies. Cure!
Did you just cast Cure on me?
Yes?
What the f? You're a max level White Mage and you're still casting Cure 1? Why it's not upgraded into Cure 2 is beyond me, because all it does is just bait idiots like you to use Cure 1 for the free Cure trait. Look, don't ever Cure 1 again. Stick to Cure 2. It's better.
Okay. Oh no, the ninja is taking damage. I got this.
A regen. Regen is an instant cast healing over time effect that is more potent than Cure 2 if immediate healing isn't required. But you should have lilies available, you'll all know. Every 20 seconds you generate one lily, so I recommend using a Flate of Solace, an instant cast single target heal, over using regen on me. I didn't take damage, and now your regen is over healing me. If you need to use regen on anyone, it should be on the tank, and even then, you have a Flate of Solace that is just as strong as Cure 2, but doesn't cost any MP and gives you a Blood Lily. Upon reaching 3 Blood Lilies, you can cast...
Okay, I get it.
Alright, I was just trying to help.
Well, maybe if you didn't stand in the silly AoEs, I wouldn't have to give you a single target heal. Oh no, incoming raid-wide damage. It's fine, I got this with some area of effect healing. What? Oh, I shouldn't have used a Medica 1, but instead a Medica 3? An AoE healing spell that gives everyone a regen effect? And I should use it because the raid-wide is doing damage over time? I see. Wait, another raid-wide? This time I for sure know what to do. What? My Cure 3 missed you? And I should use a Flatus Rapture, an instant cast AoE heal because it has much better reach and gives a Blood Lily? Okay. Firstly, that's a fair point. Cure 3 is my most potent burst heal, but I should only really use it if I don't have lilies available to use Rapture, and the same can be said for any AoE or even single target heal because we have Solace. But you know what? It wouldn't have made a difference, anyways, because you're off in another dungeon where my heals can't reach you. What, all of you think you know better than me, and I'm sick and tired of it. I'm your healer. I'm your god! And I can let you die as easily as I can heal you. So shut up and just do your jobs without telling me how to do mine. And tank!
Yes?
If you use your defenses better, then maybe I wouldn't have to resort to using stuff like Cure on your dumbass. Lucky for you, I have Divine Benison and Aquaveil. Divine Benison gives self or target party member a 500 Cure potency shield on a 60-second cooldown and holds 2 charges, while Aquaveil reduces self or targeted party members damage by 15% for 8 seconds on a 60-second cooldown. Both are good tools for periods of frequent auto attacks and tank busters, and I ideally always want to keep 1 charge of Divine Benison on cooldown, which is great for shitters like you who think defensive cooldowns are exclusively used on bosses and tank busters. As for you, Mr. Summoner, can you for the love of God get closer? You keep missing my AoE heals, and I have to use a Tetragrammaton charge on you. Which is fine, it's a good spot heal tool on a 60-second cooldown and holds 2 charges, but I'd much prefer to use these on this stupid tank to keep them up. And finally, we have the ninja. Does your diet plan consist of eating every AoE in existence?
No.
Oh, fantastic. I'm so glad. That's such a relief to hear. If only this information could refund my benediction that I had to use on you. It's on a 3-minute cooldown and instantly restores the target to full health. It's a good tool to top up the tank after letting them get low, or just great for spot healing mentors like our ninja here. Now if you could stop eating every AoE, that would be great. In fact, let me teach you all a lesson here. So there's an incoming raid wide, but maybe I don't want to use a GCD heal and instead take advantage of my myriad of AoE healing oGCDs. Firstly, we have Asylum, which is on a 90-second cooldown and places a bubble that heals and increases healing on those who enter it for 24 seconds, and has a radius of 30 arms, so there's no excuse not to be in it. So not only is Asylum a great party-wide regen effect that doesn't cost a single GCD cast, it also increases your own and your co-healers' healing output as long as healed players are within the bubble. Plenary Indulgence is another option, which is on a 60-second cooldown and grants self and party members within a 20-yard radius the buff Confession for 10 seconds that adds 200 cure potency to every party member hit by our AoE healing spells. So although the ability Plenary itself is an oGCD, it does need GCD healing to actually make it worthwhile, but that's what Afflatus Rapture is for. We also have Liturgy of the Bell, which is on a 3-minute cooldown and places this cute little flower and grants us 5 stacks of Liturgy of the Bell for 20 seconds. Each time we take damage, 1 stack will be consumed and heal us and the party for 400 cure potency within a 20-yard radius. Once the 20 seconds are up, any remaining stacks that are not consumed by taking damage will heal ourselves and the party for 200 cure potency per stack. We can also manually trigger this effect by pressing Liturgy of the Bell again. This cooldown really shines when there are multiple instances of raid-wide damage during the 20-second period, but can also be used as a big burst heal to get us through the odd raid or two and gain an extra usage throughout an encounter. Finally, we have Temperance, which is on a 2-minute cooldown and increases GCD healing potency by 20% and reduces self and party members damage taken by 10% in a 50-yard radius for 20 seconds. It also grants Divine Grace, which allows the execution of Divine Charis, an oGCD that gives self and nearby party members a 400 potency cure shield in a 15-yard radius that lasts 10 seconds. Once the shield breaks or expires, it'll grant the buff Divine Aura that is simply a 200 cure potency regen effect lasting 15 seconds. All of these are our big raid-wide healing cooldowns, and it's important to spread them out accordingly based on encounter. In most cases, we don't want to use all of these at once for one instance of damage, so we have something for a future raid-wide. But some encounters, it's not a bad idea to use everything we have for one instance of damage if nothing is happening after for the next, say, 2 minutes. And we refer to this as kitchen sinking. Anyway, class dismissed. Now try not to get hit by any unnecessary damage because I won't be healing you. Instead, I'll be out DPSing your pitiful damage by casting Glare Freeze, our single target damaging spell to be used on 2 or less targets. It has a base cast of 1.5 seconds and a recast of 2.5, so we can weave a single oGCD within this window. We also have Dia, our damage over time spell that lasts 30 seconds, is an instant cast, and instant casts gives us 2 oGCD weave slots. Dia should be kept up on boss enemies at all times, as it's a gain over glare in just 4 ticks. It also has impact damage, so if we need to move and we literally have no other movement tools available, it's something.
Oh man, my TBN didn't break.
Okay, I missed the part where that's my problem. Maybe use TBN better. Anyway, when there are 3 or more targets, we use Holy Free, our AoE spell with a base cast and recast of 2.5 seconds. It also stuns non-boss enemies for 4 seconds initially, then 2 seconds, and then 1 second, which is a total of 7 seconds. So not only are we bringing the deeps, but also doing the tank's job for them by actively mitigating the damage they take. Oh, look how pitiful you must feel as a tank when those cooldowns aren't getting full value. We also have Afflatus Misery, which is not only a highly potent AoE spell, but also great for single target and is an instant cast, making a great movement tool as well. Afflatus Misery can only be executed after collecting 3 Blood Lilies. For each Afflatus Solace and Rapture, we'll obtain 1 Blood Lily. Afflatus Misery is DPS neutral, kind of. Using 3 Solaces or Raptures and then an Afflatus Misery is the same potency as casting 4 Glare Freeze, but that doesn't account for setting up an Afflatus Misery for raid buffs. If we know 2-minute buffs are coming up soon, we can expend our lilies to bank an Afflatus Misery. Then once the 2-minute buff window is coming up, we can use it under raid buffs for a DPS gain. And if there's downtime when the boss isn't targetable, well, that's a perfect place to use some Afflatus Solaces or Raptures without any worry. Oh, and Afflatus Misery is always a gain over 2 or more targets. It's no longer DPS neutral at that point. Speaking of the 2-minute burst window, let's hope these useless DPS actually align their buffs and our summoner doesn't think he's still an Endwalker and uses Searing Light too early. We have Presence of Mind, or what I like to call it, POM. It's a much cuter name. POM is our 2-minute offensive cooldown, reducing spellcast time, recast time, and auto attack delay by 20% for 15 seconds. Don't ask why auto attack delay is reduced when they literally do 1 damage, but it is. It also grants us 3 stacks of Sacred Sight for 30 seconds, allowing us the execution of Glare 4, a highly potent instant cast AoE spell. So if you weren't already putting the DPS in your group to shame by your superior damage, then this will. You always want to use your 3 stacks of Glare 4 under your party's raid buffs, so you better not misalign them and keep me waiting and wondering where the hell are the raid buffs. We also have some MP economy abilities that we should probably go over, because if we ever run out of MP, we can no longer out DPS the DPS, and we don't want that. So for that reason, we have Lucid Dreaming, Assize, and Finnair. Lucid Dreaming is on a 60-second cooldown and simply regenerates our MP over time for 21 seconds. Use this when under 8k MP. Ascize is on a 40-second cooldown and is a highly potent oGCD AoE damaging and healing ability and recovers 5% of our total MP. Ascize heals for a good amount, so we can slightly delay it for raid damage if we know we won't lose a usage throughout an encounter, but this is something you'll learn through trial and error. Oh, and it's always a gain to delay it if you can hit more than 2 targets. If it's just 2, then delaying it isn't a bad idea, but if we lose the usage, well, it'll probably just be DPS neutral at that point. Thin Air is on a 60-second cooldown and holds 2 charges. Thin Air will grant us the Thin Air buff for 12 seconds. That will make the next MP costing spell cost nothing. For our MP economy, we always want to keep 1 on cooldown on something like a Glare, and 1 in reserve for either a high costing spell like Medica 3 or a Raise. Raise simply revives a dead player like our mentor over here who ate 1 too many AoEs. Raise has a base cast of 8 seconds, so it's good to also pair it with Swift Cast, which is on a 40-second cooldown and makes the next spell an instant cast. A good movement tool for DPSing, but it's best to hold onto it when you know a mechanic is coming up that could potentially kill someone, or when you're just progressing a fight still. And yes, Thin Air and Swift Cast are 2 oGCDs, so the likelihood of you clipping into your GCD to just raise someone is high depending on your previous spell. Unfortunately, as a healer, it is your job to pay for the sins of our stupid party members who die to dumb shit. Speaking of movement, we have abilities like Dia, Glare 4, Afflatus Solace, Rapture and Misery, and Swift Cast, but we also have this nifty tool called Ethereal Shift that dashes us forward 15 yards, which is great for closing the gap on large distances and helps minimize lost casts. Just mind the edges. While we're on the topic of utility, we may as well cover the rest of the abilities like Repose, Asuna, Shortcast, and Rescue. Repose, it puts a target to sleep, kind of useless except in a few niche cases. Asuna cleanses a single debuff from a target. You can tell if a debuff can be cleansed, indicated by the white line above the icon. Shortcast, an oGCD on a 120-second cooldown and is our anti-knockback. Use this when a mechanic is going to knock us back to prevent it. It also prevents cast from being interrupted, which is neat, I guess. Rescue, on a 120-second cooldown, this oGCD drags a designated target to your position. Use this on dumb party members who can't dodge for shit. Oh, and would you look at that, we made it to the end of the dungeon. Thank you for the party, hehe. Now that's out of the way, let's go over the opener and rotation for White Mage. We're a healer, so it's nothing crazy complicated. We'll start with a Glare 3 and weave a Potion of Mind, then Dia and 2 more Glare 3 casts. Then we'll weave Presence of Mind into Glare 4, weave Ascize, use our remaining 2 Glare 4s, then cast 6 Glare 3s and reapply our Dia to catch it within the raid buffs and the potions. The Glare 4s can be shifted around for movement and aren't important where they exactly are within the opener, as long as they catch raid buffs and are within your potion window. After that, it's as simple as spamming Glare 3s and reapplying Dia when it's about to fall off. At around 0 to 2 seconds is when you know you should cast it again. Spam Ascize on cooldown, avoid overcapping your lilies, and make sure to store an Afflatus Misery for the 2-minute burst window. The 2-minute burst window can vary how they look, but the most important things are to use a POM and all 3 Glare 4s, an Afflatus Misery, reapply Dia, and use as many Glare 3s as possible within the buff window. It's really that simple. Our stat priority looks like this. Critical hit first because it's OP, then spell speed if you need to meet a specific GCD threshold, then direct hit because SE hates us and don't put it on our gear, and then determination. Oh, and piety is like bad, kind of. It might be a good progression stat in a new Savage or Ultimate or Criterion dungeon, but that's not on me to find out, but for you. Also, heals can't direct hit, so if you want more overall healing, determination is better for that, but in most cases, having a bit more determination to increase your healing output is not going to make the difference between an extra heal or not. So just meld direct hit unless you're progressing an ultimate and it does make the difference, but just like with piety, that's for you to find out and for me to not worry about. Hehe. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you'd like to donate to the White Mage Mental Health Foundation, join my Patreon in the description below and join these charitable individuals who keep me sane. Or if you'd like to support my healing process via other means, leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. With that said, I shall now take my leave and descend further into madness. Goodbye.